Anyway, we have conversations for you this morning. And we're going to be talking, it's a very important conversation for us to have.
Yes. All right, so we're going to be talking to Gifty Birago, Regional Health Directorate of STI Focal Person. And we're going to be having a conversation on the 2024 National Youth HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. Hello, Gifty.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Oh, you look nice.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
All right.
You also look good.
Thank you so much. Gifty,
Yes.
HIV, AIDS, I mean, we've been hearing a lot about it, but refresh our minds. What is HIV?
HIV is a virus, and it's an acronym which stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. So that's basically what HIV is about.
And what's the difference between HIV and AIDS?
Okay, so...
Because we keep seeing the use of the two together, HIV stroke AIDS.
Stroke AIDS, yes. They have some relationship. So AIDS is the disease AIDS is the disease which is caused by HIV.
Okay.
And once someone acquires AIDS, it's as a result of progressive breakdown of the body's defenses, which leads to opportunistic infections. And these opportunistic infections finally may lead to the person losing their life.
Right.
So it's very important that people need to know that AIDS is real, and they also have to ensure that once they acquire HIV, they get treated as soon as possible.
All right, so how is it contracted?
HIV is contracted, one, through sexual intercourse. Secondly, it is also contracted for mother-to-child transmission. And also, the other point means by which HIV is transmitted is when someone is exposed to what we call sharp objects and contaminated items. So let's say, for example, when someone gets a splash of contaminated HIV fluid on their face, or which gets directly into their eyes, it puts them at a risk of transmission. Yes, so the third one is the fact that you can have HIV through exposure to contaminated items and fluids.
How are we doing generally as a country? Because there have been ups and downs, and there was a time when the numbers were dropping nicely across all regions and all that. But in the last few months, we heard of some spikes in some regions across the country. How are we doing nationally?
Well, nationally, there is some progress in HIV management. One of the things you would observe is that when it comes to testing, the number of people who are getting tested is gradually increasing. And with regards to treatment as well, we're also doing quite well. And but one of the challenges is adherence to treatment, where people are onboarded onto medications, but some of them don't really take their medications as expected. Well, there may be various reasons. Stigma may be a reason. A deeper understanding of the disease itself also contributes to not taking the medication. And sometimes people just get tired.
Right. So when you say get tired, is it because of how long they have to take it for?
It's actually for life. So what it means is that progressively you have to prepare your mind that you have to be on this medication the rest of your life.
Every day? Is it an everyday thing?
Yes, it is an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing.
I know we've been making progress in terms of developing capsules that you can take less frequently.
That's true.
How are we with that?
We've come very far.
Tell us what it used to look like.
In the past 20 years, I mean, of HIV, we used to take as many as 16 tablets.
A day?
A day.
On a go?
Exactly.
Like one go, not morning, afternoon, evening.
Not at all.
One go?
One go.
16 tablets.
Or even if it is not 16, probably by the end of the day,
you would have taken...
You just have to make sure that your 16 tablets is done.
Wow.
Then we moved to 8 tablets. Then we moved on to 4 tablets.
Right.
Then we moved on to 2 tablets. Currently, we are doing 1 tablet.
Oh, that's progress, I think.
So those who are getting tired, they shouldn't be getting tired.
Just one.
We've made a lot of progress.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of progress.
Yes.
And when you think about it, people even with high blood pressure, it's one, like
Yeah.
diabetes, one, like,
It's
you
one.
know?
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's just people. People
Yeah.
are just people.
Yeah.
But now let's
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
stigmatization.
Okay.
What are some of the, factors of stigmatization here in Ghana?
I think there are varying factors. There are social factors. One of the social factors is when it comes to society, people's perception of people who have HIV. They are, for example, at the workplace, when you identify that a colleague has HIV, the talk behind the person's back, the interaction is usually minimized. And when that happens, it breaks the person's confidence. So that's one way. And then family, where, once someone identifies that their partner or their relative is HIV positive, their demeanor towards them also changes. So when that happens, it makes it difficult for people to disclose their HIV status to others. And then when that happens also, it also makes it easier it makes it difficult for people to take their medications. Because why should I take my medication if I know that you are going to stigmatize me?
Okay.
In the area, for example, if someone has HIV and doesn't want to tell the partner or knows that the partner will discriminate against him or her, the person is not likely to take their medication. The person is not likely to disclose their status to their partner. But they may take their medications all right. But sometimes when their partner is around constantly, then it means they would have to hide, exactly. And that influences the adherence.
But then this exposes the partner also to contracting it.
Yes, that's very, very true. One of the effective ways of taking medication, of taking HIV medications, is achieving what we call target not detected or viral suppression. And once you are able to achieve that, what it means is that your chances of transmitting to your partner minimizes. However, it is not an automatic status. It can change once you are not adherent to your medication. So you may be target not detected today, and tomorrow you may not.
Oh, that's if you stop.
Exactly.
Because once the numbers start coming up, you can transmit.
You can transmit. You can transmit.
Right. Let's talk about AIDS and the common symptoms. Because, HIV itself doesn't have symptoms because it's not an illness, as it were, right? But AIDS does have certain things about it. If people are curious as to how do I know that I may have, are there typical symptoms? And then talk to us also about testing and the frequency that we need to make sure that if we don't have, we keep it that way.
Okay, all right. So when it comes to common symptoms, I usually would like to start from what we call the clinical staging, because HIV symptoms are usually related to the stages of HIV, in the sense that progression of HIV to AIDS also determines the kind of symptoms you also develop. So for example, when someone is in stage 1, the person is not likely to have symptoms. Within probably 5 to 7 years, there are virtually no symptoms. So you may be carrying HIV, but because you have never tested, you have no idea that you are HIV positive. So you may marry, you may live your life, nevertheless, you are HIV positive. So that's usually stage 1. Then in stage 2, that shows that the body's defense system is gradually weakening. So usually you may have some external symptoms, such as rashes, different kinds of rashes. You may also have frequent respiratory infections. Yes, you may have these things. And then as it progresses to stage 3, it gets more intense. You are likely to lose weight much more severe. You're likely to have oral thrush and also in your throat as well. So stage 4 makes it
So walk us through what
worse.
we're looking at here.
Right, yes. Yeah, the symptoms of acute HIV infection. Yeah.
So when we say acute HIV infection, it means the person has AIDS?
No.
Or not yet?
The person does not have AIDS.
Okay.
The person is having HIV.
Yeah, HIV.
Okay.
So the person is having HIV.
Yes.
So this could be any stage?
This acute simply means that the person
just has it.
Just recently acquired the virus.
Okay.
And once you acquire it recently, what happens is that your body has to try and manage the effect of the virus on your body. So for 3 months, the body may not identify it. In the sense that the body may identify it within 3 months actually, but when you come to the kind of test that we use currently at the facility, once you contract HIV within 3 months, you may not be able to identify it. It will be after. So for acute HIV infection, what usually happens is that once the virus enters the body, it is the body's way of protecting protecting the body protecting the body from getting worse with regards to the HIV. So someone may experience cough, sore throat, fever, a skin rash. So these are some symptoms. These are some general symptoms. But however, you may have someone with all of these and maybe malaria. Usually when people see these things, when they realize these symptoms, the first thing they think about is, oh, let me go to a pharmacy shop.
Fever or malaria.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's important that once you notice a rash, think HIV. It doesn't mean you have it. But
what kind of rash though?
Well, we may have some, we can easily identify it, but usually...
No, so usually where is it? Where is it? That's what I'm saying.
For rash, it may be any part of your body. It may be on your hands, it may be on your legs. So usually, once you visit the hospital and you complain of a rash, you would want to check for HIV. It doesn't mean that all rashes will lead to HIV.
It could be heat.
Yes.
It could be allergy.
It could be.
Don't be scared. Just go to the hospital.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So it's just a way of encouraging you to do it. And once you mentioned that you are losing weight, you are having diarrhea and vomiting, we would also want to just check, just in case.
All right. So you mentioned there are 3 stages. So that's 1, 2, 4 stages before you get to 8.
Yes.
Okay. So during these stages, let's say someone gets to stage 4.
Okay.
And maybe that's when they detect, and the person starts taking back the taking medications. Can the person come back to maybe normal again?
Normal, okay. Yes, the person can come back to normal, but we wouldn't call it stage 1, because once you get to stage 4, it means you've had that history. Yeah. So that when we are managing you, it gives us a fair idea that you've had these kind of exposures. So we have to be more tactful in terms of providing some intense care for you. But regardless of the stage you find yourself in, you can receive full treatment and then live your normal life.
So when you say live your normal life, what I'm asking, can the person just go back to be, okay, I know you will not be a normal person because you have HIV,
you will be.
but I mean, like, just be a strong person again.
Yes, I mean, the good thing about the current HIV medications is that the HIV medications suppresses the virus entirely to the extent that the body is able to bounce back to its normal functioning. So even though the virus may be present in the body, it does not mean that when you are taking the HIV medications, your body is an abnormal body. It is not. You are still a normal person. The only difference is that you are taking the medications to suppress the effect of the virus on your body.
So, just to be clear, somebody could have HIV in these stages that we've looked at,
Yes.
and go all the way to stage 4 and maybe even get AIDS. But with proper care, they can revert to a point where they appear as fresh, as healthy, as strong as me that I'm sitting here.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's a perfect answer.
Okay.
Wow. So it's all about going to the hospital,
Exactly.
taking your meds, and doing
Yes.
what you have to do.
And living your dreams.
Early,
I like that.
Living your dreams.
I like that.
early detection and following the protocols,
Mm.
how much of an impact will that make vis-a-vis discovery later and still following the protocols?
Early detection it is certainly the best option. I mean, it's non-negotiable.
Right.
Because by the time you get to stage 4, you may lose your life. And other things may
Yeah.
come
So
in.
many things
You may
must have happened,
spend
yeah.
so much money. And so early detection is the best. But usually the challenge with early detection is the fact that because HIV is asymptomatic or no symptoms, people don't
do it.
usually want to check because they feel
I don't
well.
feel nothing.
Exactly.
I feel good.
I feel good.
I'm all right.
But you are HIV positive.
yeah.
Do you know the way I think? I'm like, every opportunity I get and I give a blood sample, they must add HIV test to it.
Yes.
I do it all the time.
Right.
So when I'm going to donate blood,
Okay.
or I'm doing a general medical, whatever, checkup, or I always include
Request.
Right.
every single time.
I think that's
Yeah.
a good.
No, because if you don't, you're just walking around in oblivion, thinking that
Not
I'm
knowing
okay.
how good you are,
there's
yeah.
nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You know the Ghanaian belief that not going to the hospital. Some believe that not going to the hospital is a sign of good. You are doing well.
You are doing
I mean,
well.
someone. I mean, people. They
Very
boast
much.
that I have not been to the hospital for the past
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
But
right.
you have no idea that you may be actually carrying
Okay.
some symptoms.
Okay, so let's talk about the medication right now
Okay.
left at the ports.
Ah,
Yes, those the
Okay.
anti
Retrovirus.
medicines left at the
Medicines.
ports. Yes. What effect is it having right now to the AIDS Commission?
okay. I am from the Regional Health Directorate,
Right.
but the AIDS Commission was actually in charge of policies. And
Right. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, what I would say is that when clients hear that they don't their medications have run out, it breaks their confidence and brings a lot of fear in their hearts because they live by the medications. So any delay is like trying to stifle them of what they really need to fulfill their dreams, regardless of who the person is.
Right. So these are not medications that you buy. You can just walk into the pharmacy and buy.
Currently, no. You can't go to the pharmacy and buy it. It is provided across all, most of the government facilities and some private facilities.
Are they freely available?
They
As
are.
in, are they free?
The cost is 0 Ghana cedis.
Right.
Okay.
That means it is very free.
All right. So now that you have talked about, the importance of taking the medicine every day,
Yes.
in this case right now, what are people with HIV supposed to do, especially if the medicine is not available?
Well, currently the medications are available in most of the facilities, except that sometimes the stock levels, once it goes down, so usually you'll have to prepare ahead of time.
Right.
That's the other thing. And then also, once you take your medication, we have to monitor your viral load. And the viral load, it's what actually helps us to know whether the medications you are taking are working
Or not. Right.
So if someone has HIV, what they need to do is to take their medications very well, take it constantly, regularly,
All right.
so that they don't have to worry about
All right.
it.
Okay.
Do you have any special things you're doing for this